Ghana Sumubi Jumedie. Evidence and Effectiveness Grants. Most Significant Change Story. SONGTABA. Wumya reunites with family after decade-long stay at Kpatinga Camp.
As an organization, we are passionate about serving underserved communities. And many of the people that we work with are women with disabilities, women who are living in exclusion.
Lamnatu Adam, Executive Director, SONGTABA, speaking.
The grant necessarily did not just target women who are living in exclusion due to witchcraft accusation. It looked at women also with mental health conditions. And then the grant helped us to prove a point, especially for women who are accused with witchcraft, that apparently there are mental issues that are associated with witchcraft accusation.
It is our tradition as the Gombes that women are mostly accused of witchcraft because it is believed a woman is not supposed to possess supernatural power. But when a man has supernatural power, it is not a call for concern.
Adams Musa Monkwa, Kpatinga alleged Witches Camp Chief Priest speaking.
It is only someone with greater power that can point to a man's supernatural powers. But when a woman has even small power, she is exposed.
One day, I was sitting with one of my children and he said, "People are accusing me that I have become a bad person, killing people." Then I exclaimed, "There is no God but Allah. La ilaha illallah."
Wumya Napari, woman accused of witchcraft, speaking.
With regards to her witchcraft accusations, I was there one day when I got the news. Then I said, well, human beings are unpredictable.
Nganime Momi, son of Wumya Napari, speaking.
Whether the accusation was true or false, I could not tell. So I went and informed my mother about what I heard and asked her if she is aware, and she said no. Then Mba Sumpa, the chief priest of the Kpatinga camp, invited me to discuss the issue at hand. So I told my mother I was bringing her to Mba Sumpa to help take care of her until the heat of the matter comes down. Then we will reunite. But my mother vehemently disagreed to my suggestion. I begged her and told her if she doesn't go, we might face a bigger problem. I also told her that she going to stay with Mba Sumpa will help reduce the stress. That's how I managed to convince her, and she agreed with me. When I took her to Mba Sumpa, he has taken good care of her, and I also paid her regular visits to ensure she was well.
But then, it is because of my home that I agreed and went to the camp. I wanted peace in my home, so I submitted myself to the camp priest so that it would help protect my home for me, so that it would be a good home. I do not want a broken home. It is for my home I knelt before the priest and accepted that I was a witch. They did not assault me. It was so heartbreaking and hurtful that I was accused of a witchcraft I do not know anything about. How does being a witch feel? I do not know, but I was accused. I have nothing more to say. This is what they did to me, and that is so painful. Ask Monkwa, who is the priest of the Kpatinga camp, how thin I grew. I looked like a small girl. It stressed me up. I was so depressed. It made me feel like I was going crazy. Monkwa can testify.
One of the aspects that the grant helped us to do was to hold community level engagement, sensitizing them about issues of mental health, and then also witchcraft accusation and how the actions of people violate the human rights of such people who were accused. And we also did radio discussions to make sure that we reach bigger outreach, as well as hold key engagement with traditional authority, and then also with the district assembly. It also supported us to facilitate the engagement between the right holder groups, like the alleged witches network, their leadership, to also engage with the duty bearers and also other people who are suffering from mental health disorders to engage with the district assembly. Many a time, women who live in the camp are depressed, they have low quality of life, and most of them do not feel well. And so Wumya was one of the person who wasn't feeling well, and we saw that it was important that she was with the family who will better take care of her.
They helped me with clothing, like what I'm wearing, and also gave me rice. While at the camp, I was doing well and living peacefully until age caught up with me. Cooking became a problem. I could not go to fetch water or fetch firewood for myself. If you go to put an old lady in her fellow old lady's care, how would they survive? So I asked Munkwa that it will be good if I reunite with my family, since I am now old. I could not cook nor fetch firewood or even fetch water for myself. I became a burden. Most times, I am not able to cook, so my colleagues would serve me food when they prepare some. Should a person live like this?
Before Wumya was brought here at the camp, I made enquiries before accepting her. She lived with me for more than 10 years. She even had a motor accident while returning from farm one day and had her leg broken. So I had her transported by tractor back to her family. They took her in and later returned her to me after her leg was healed, saying they could not live with her anymore. Wumya was innocent, they just despised her.
As you can see my leg, it is the reason for which I could not undertake any task. I was knocked down by a motor. I was even lucky, it could have been worse. But I did not go to the hospital. Once in a while, the health workers come around and give us drugs.
And so this other factor about her health condition further pushed us to facilitate her reintegration to the family.
It was so painful that nobody visited. I told Munkwa that I would go back home no matter the atrocity I might face. I wanted to go back home. The family accepted me upon arrival, and until date, no one has mistreated me in any way.
Wumya Napari is not just the only person. She's part of other people that we've reintegrated back home. We did sensitization at the community that she's now reintegrated with. We held discussions with the family members, we held discussion with the elders, and then we also held discussion at the camp to facilitate, her reintegration back home. And so we've done key engagement with people who matter about her safety and about how welcome she will be at home. So those were some of the things that we did to support her to get home with the family.
Since she returned home, I have not heard anything bad said about her.
What I went through, I do not wish for anyone, not even my enemy, to experience something like that.
No matter what we do, hate and wickedness will continue to exist. We those they push these alleged witches to for care can come together and reject these responsibilities. However, each day we get news that a woman has been beaten to death, an old woman has been beaten to death. Most of these women lose their lives because we could not rescue them, and the perpetrators usually get away. What can we do?
Ghana Somubi Jumedie, our partnership with them has strengthened our capacity. It has brought a lot of learnings to us, and then we appreciate that fund a lot. It greatly impacted the work that we did. Currently, we have had the Parliament of Ghana pass the anti-witchcraft bill, although it's still waiting the president's, signature. So the president is here to ascend. We'll continue to push for that. We'll continue to do the advocacy.
Special thanks. SONGTABA, Lamna to Adam, Adams Musa Monkwa, Wumya Napari, Nganime Momi. Ghana Somubi Jumedie, funded by UK Aid from the British people. A 550 production for Ghana Somubi Jumedie.